Hi. Why 3D artists or visual effects artists or even graphic designers should be worried, or I would say at least be careful in 2020? Without sounding very negative, let me just give you an idea of why. It's important to get prepared for the future, all right? So I'm just going to give you a glimpse of what's going to happen or what's already happened. Technology goes through a massive change every 15 to 20 years. The last time this happened was when the 3D took over the 2D. A lot of 2D artists with great skill sets, they migrated to 3D, and then the ones who did not, even though with great skill sets, the ones who did not migrate to 3D, they kind of got left behind. So what did this 3D actually do? See, it was at that time before 20 years when only the guys who were extremely good in drawing, who were able to draw well, and with extreme talents, only they will be able to, or they would have been able to work in the animation industry at all. Anyone with lesser talents, they could not have work. They never got a job. Okay. So what did the 3D do? It gave you different tools for someone with the understanding of art, but maybe not that good enough to use their craft to draw and bring it in the paper. So 3D kind of gave you extra tools. So even people with lesser skill sets than the guys who were extremely good in drawing, like people like me, for example, the 3D made it possible to understand the art and then have used a new set of tools with the 3D software and be a part of this industry. Okay? So similarly, right now, the AI, the artificial and ML, machine language tools are going to disrupt the industry. It's going to change the way how the animation, visual effects, or even graphic designing work. It's going to change the way how the animation, 3D animation, visual effects, or even graphic designing to an extent is functioning. Let me give you a quick example of how, or let me give you a simple example of how or what is going to happen, or what has happened already. Before 5 years, let's say I have a photo of myself and my friends with some background. And if I wanted to remove myself from that background, I should have opened this photo in a Photoshop and used the Photoshop tools to cut myself out from the background, right? I should have done it, or I should have given it to a Photoshop artist, someone who knows Photoshop, and asked him to do that. Right now, all these things can happen with the click of a button. I can just upload my photo, click a button, and I can separate myself from the background in a couple of seconds. So what this ML tool does is it identifies the characters and it identifies the background, and it immediately separates both together into separate layers. So what has happened, or what's happening is these tools are going to simplify a lot of repetitive or manual jobs which are already there, and many people make their living, their bread and butter through these jobs. So it's important for artists, whoever it is, in 3D animation or visual effects or graphic designing. So these tools are mostly going to impact the ones in who are doing repetitive jobs, or the ones who are trying to achieve realism through their work, right? So it's important for us to kind of understand these tools and learn to use those tools and make sure we are on the job instead of the ones who are getting left behind.